Hello my dear students, there are lot of limitations in Bohr's atomic model. What does principal quantum number actually determine? L will be equal to 0. The next value is not possible because 1 minus 1 is 0. It can be asked for 1 mark, it can be asked for 2 marks. In competitive exams, it's very important. Spherical shape, it has got a spherical shape. You can see X, Y, Z. If I have to tell about the p orbitals. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session 8 on the chapter structure of atom. Last class we learnt about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and dual behavior of matter. Today we shall learn about atomic orbitals and also about quantum numbers. Now, what are atomic orbitals and from where did this atomic orbital actually come from? There are lot of limitations in Bohr's atomic model. He did not consider the wave property of electron, and also he had considered that the electrons, which are charged particles, is revolving around the nucleus in circular path, which was completely not accepted by Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and dual nature of matter led to the development of quantum mechanical model of an atom. Now, what is quantum mechanics? It is a branch of science that deals with the study of the motion of microscopic objects. Also, it accounts for the dual behavior of matter. It was developed in 1926 independently by Werner Heisenberg and Erwin Schrödinger. Schrödinger gave a wave equation also for hydrogen atom. The most important features of quantum mechanical model is atomic orbital, and that is the only thing which is there for you all in this syllabus. So, we learn about what are atomic orbitals and what is quantum number. Okay. So, first thing, atomic orbital, a region of space around the nucleus where probability of finding the electron is maximum is called as an orbital. That is, if you consider this to be the nucleus, okay, this is the nucleus, and if I tell it is an s orbital, okay, s orbital is spherical in shape. That means around this nucleus you can imagine there is a spherical, a sphere which is there. Around in that area, okay, you can find those two electrons which is belonging to that particular orbital. That means it is the region of space around the nucleus where probability of finding the electron is highest, as you can see. Okay. Next, what are quantum numbers? There are a set of numbers, that is 4 quantum numbers, which specify energy, size, shape and orientation of an orbital. Okay. So, what does quantum number actually tell us? It tells us about the energy, it tells us about the shape, size and also orientation of the orbitals. Okay. So, we learn all the 4 quantum numbers. So, which are the 4 quantum numbers? They are principal quantum number, which we write it as small letter n. Next, we have azimuthal quantum number, which is written as small letter l, magnetic quantum number ml, and electron spin quantum number ms, or even it is written as simple s. Okay. So, these are the 4 quantum numbers. We learn each one by one. First one we have is principal quantum number, which is denoted with the letter n, small letter n. Okay. What is principal quantum number? The values of principal quantum number is a positive integer. It's a positive integer and it can start from 1, 2, 3 and so on. Next, what does principal quantum number actually determine? It can determine the size and energy of the orbital, and also it identifies the shell. Okay, as the value of n increases, the size and energy of the orbital also goes on increasing. Okay, now if n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, that means as the number increases, the shell or the size of the orbital is also increasing. We can also depict it with the letter K, L, M, N, etc. Okay, and can go on. Total number of orbitals in a shell. How many orbitals are possible in a shell is equal to n square. That means the first shell can have 1 square is 1. So it can have only 1 orbital. Whereas second shell 2 square is 4. So it can have 4 orbitals. 3 square is 9. So the third shell can have 9 orbitals, whereas the fourth shell can have 16 orbitals. So you will get the number of orbitals which is equal to n square. Now, if you want to know what are the maximum number of electrons in every shell, then that is equal to 2n square. That is n square value we have. To multiply that by 2, you will get the number of electrons. So in the first shell has got 1 orbital and it has got 2 electrons. The second shell has 4 orbitals and it has got 8 electrons. The third shell has got 9 orbitals and it has got 18 electrons, and fourth shell has got 16 orbitals and it has got 32 electrons. So we learn more about the orbitals with next quantum number. Next we have azimuthal quantum number, which is depicted with the letter L. Okay, it is also known as orbital angular momentum or subsidiary quantum number. So what is it? It is orbital angular momentum or subsidiary quantum number. What does it define or determine? It determines the three-dimensional shape of an orbital. For every value of n, you can give L values. L value will start from 0 up to n minus 1. Okay, so each shell consists of one or more subshells, or we call it as sub-levels. Okay, so first shell has got one sub-level. That is because when n is equal to 1, L will be equal to 0. The next value is not possible because 1 minus 1 is 0. So when n is equal to 1, L will be equal to 0. That is one value, one level only, which is called as S level or S sub-level is possible. When n is equal to 2, L will be equal to 0 and 1. Two values are possible. So two sub-levels are possible, S and P. Okay. When n is equal to 3, three levels are possible, 0, 1 and 2. That means S, P and D levels are possible. When n is equal to 4, L can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 values S, P, D, F levels are possible. Each sub-level corresponds to different values of L are represented in different symbols. You can see here, when value of L is 0, the symbol is S. It is S subshell. When L value is 1, it is P. When L is equal to 2, it is D. And when L is equal to 3, it is F. Okay. This is very important to solve the numericals. Okay. Next we will see about the next quantum number, that is magnetic quantum number, which we write it as ML. Okay. It gives us the information about the spatial orientation of the orbital with respect to standard set of coordinate axes, that is x axis, y axis and z axis. Based on that, what does it give? The spatial orientation of the orbital. So for any subshell, that is for any value of L, okay, 2L plus 1 value of ML is possible. So for any value of L, 2L plus 1 value of ml is possible. So how do we write the ml values? It is minus L through 0 to plus L. That is, for example, if L is equal to 0, m value can be only 0. So only one value or one orbital is possible. Okay. When L is equal to 1, m can be minus 1, 0, plus 1. I told you, minus L through 0 to plus L. So L is 1. So minus 1, 0, plus 1. So 3 values or 3 orbitals are possible. When L is equal to 2, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. So how many values are possible? 5 values. So 5 orbitals are possible. So when L is equal to 3, m is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. So how many values are possible? 7 values or 7 orbitals are possible. Okay. So now what exactly is this? See, an atom has a nucleus. First it has got shells, okay, which is further divided into subshell. So subshell can be of, that is S subshell, P subshell, D and F, and further subshell has got orbitals. S has only one type of orbital, P has got 3 types of orbitals, D has got 5 orbitals, F has got 7 orbitals. So which shell, how many orbitals are possible, you can tell if you know the shell, that is n value. Okay. So the first shell, if this is the nucleus, okay, this is the first shell. I am just drawing to make you all understand or for you all to be more clear. The first shell where n value is equal to 1, L will be equal to 0, m also equal to 0. What does this mean? That means that in the first shell there is only one subshell, and that one subshell has got only one orbital, which is called as S subshell and S orbital. S subshell and S orbital. When n is equal to 2, L will be equal to 0 and 1. That means 2 subshells are possible, S and P. Okay. Now for when L is equal to 0, m will be equal to 0. When L is equal to 1, m will be equal to minus 1, 0, plus 1. That means for the second, this is 2s subshell, this is 2p subshell. In 2s subshell there is one orbital, in 2p subshell there are 3 orbitals, and more about that I will explain in the coming slides. Okay. So next we will see about the electron spin quantum number. It refers to orientation of the spin of the electron. So inside the orbital there are electrons. Each orbital can have maximum 2 electrons. Okay. So both these electrons should have the value plus half, that is clockwise spin, or minus half, which is anti-clockwise spin, or these are also called as 2 spin states of the electron and are normally represented with the arrow. We write spin up, spin down. So these are the 2 electrons which is there in one orbital. Both will have opposite spin. One is spin up, another one is spin down, or we can tell one has plus half value, other one has minus half value. Okay. So this is about the spin quantum number. Okay. It can also be depicted with the letter S, small letter s. So I'll just revise once again. See here, when n is equal to 1, that is in the first shell, L will be equal to 0, ML is equal to 0, that's only one orbital is possible, 1s. Okay. When n is equal to 2, L value can be 0 and 1. So when L is equal to 0, M value is 0. When these two are 0, and which shell? Second shell. So one orbital, 2s orbital is possible. When L is equal to 1, minus 1, 0, plus 1. So 3 values are possible. That means 2p orbital has got px, py pz. 3 orbitals, that is 2px, 2py, 2pz. 3 orbitals are possible. Okay. Similarly, when n is equal to 3, L can be 0, 1, 2. When L is 0, M is 0. When L is 1, minus 1, 0, 1. When 2, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So when this is 0, for which shell? Third. So it is 3s orbital. We have 3 values. That means which shell? 3. So 3p orbital. Third shell, 5 values, 3d orbital. Okay. So like this you can write. In the fourth shell we have 4 subshells and 4 types of orbitals which are possible. That is 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f. So I hope you have understood the quantum numbers. Okay. There are some numericals which can come. One type I have put up. We'll see which is that. Using S, P, D and F notation, describe the orbital with the following quantum number. They are asking you which orbital it is with the quantum numbers. They have given the quantum numbers. So I'll tell you, when L is equal to 0, it is S. When L is equal to 1, it is P. When L is equal to 2, it is D. And when L is equal to 3, it is F. I told you need to remember this. Okay. S, P, D, F, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now N tells me the shell which it is. Correct. So this is second shell. Which orbital? When L is equal to 1, which is the orbital? P. So this is 2p. Okay. Now when N is equal to 4, that is the fourth shell. When L is equal to 0, it is S. So it is 4s orbital. Now when N is equal to 5 I write. L is equal to 3, which orbital? F. So it is 5f orbital. Last one, when N is equal to 3, third shell. When L is equal to 2, which shell it is? Or sorry, which orbital it is? It is D. So this is the answer how you write. It can be asked for 1 mark, it can be asked for 2 marks. In competitive exams, it's very, very important. Okay, they can twist and turn and ask the question different ways, but if you are very clear with the quantum numbers, it's very, very easy to answer. Okay, so that is about the numerical based on quantum numbers. Next, what do we have? We have shape of the atomic orbitals. Okay, so S orbital. First, we are going to learn about the S orbital. S orbital, for which L is equal to 0 and M also will be equal to 0. So it is only one value is possible, means it has got only one kind of shape. Okay, that is, it is spherical shape. It has got a spherical shape. You can see X, Y, Z. I have just drawn a spherical shape is possible for S orbital. Okay, here what does it mean? It means that the probability of finding the electron in S orbital is same in all direction for a particular distance. So you can find out the probability of finding the electron is same. It is equal distance all throughout. Okay, so that is the meaning of when L is equal to 1 and M is equal to 0. Okay, there is only one type of orbital which is spherical shape. Okay. And it is also symmetrical. You can see it is spherically symmetrical. That means it is in equidistance from the nucleus and it is symmetrical around the nucleus. Okay, that is about the S orbital. Next we have shape of P orbital. P orbital, when L is equal to 1, M values will get 3. What does it mean? That means that there are 3 types of P orbitals which are possible. Okay, 3 possible orientations of electron cloud in the P subshell are possible. P subshell or P orbital has a dumbbell shape. Which shape it has got? It has got a dumbbell shape. Okay, now these 3 orbitals are as follows. They are designated as Px, Py, Pz. So if it is along the x-axis, okay, now this is x-axis, this is z and this is y. Okay, similarly here also this is x, this is y, this is z. So this is x, this is y and this is z. So if you see here, if the dumbbell shape is along the x-axis, then we call it as px orbital. If it is along the y-axis, we call it as py orbital. If it is along the z-axis, we call it as pz orbital, and all put together, px, py, pz, when it is put together, the p subshell will look like this. P subshell will look like this. Okay, so that is about the p orbital. Next we have d orbital. See, when L is equal to 2, we get m is equal to -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, correct? So how many values you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 5 types of orbitals are possible, or 5 types of orientation of the orbitals are possible. So they are named as Pxy, Yz, Zx, Z square, P d x square minus z square, and these are double dumbbell shape. That is, you can see here, these are the 3 axes. It has got double dumbbell, one dumbbell, and there is one more dumbbell. So it is 2 dumbbell. We call it as double dumbbell shape. Okay. Now if it is along d y z, if it is, see here it is between y and z axis. You can see one dumbbell and one in between. Then you have d z x. You can see one is along the z axis and one is in between. You can see here one is like this, other one is opposite, one is xy. You can see here it is along this axis which is present. Okay, the x square minus y square is on the axis. It is present on the axis itself. Here they are present in between the coordinates. You can see here between the 2 coordinates it's present. Here also in between the 2 coordinates. Only x square and y square is on the coordinate. Okay, it is present on the coordinate axis. You can see here 1 and then 2. So 2 double dumbbell. Only z square, they have a different shape, where one dumbbell, another one, they have a ring like structure. Okay, so once again we'll see. So you can see here s orbital is spherical shape. It is symmetrical around the nucleus. It is present, symmetrical in all the 3 axes, x, y as well as z axis. Okay, so this is our s orbital. If I have to tell about the p orbitals, in p orbitals you can see it's dumbbell shape. You have a dumbbell shape. If it is now this one which is there is pz. So if the dumbbell is present on the x axis, it is called as px. If it is present on the y axis, it's called as py. If it is present on the pz, this is pz. Okay, this is pz orbital which I have shown you. Now d orbital, if you see, it is double dumbbell. You can see here 1 and 2. This is dx is present between y and x. So it is dxy. Okay, this is dxy orbital, double dumbbell shape. Like this we have 3 more other than this, and one more d orbital which is present is dz square. I told you it is a little different, which has got one dumbbell and it has got a ring like structure around it, that is dz square. So that is about the shape of the orbitals. It's again a very important question for 1 or 2 marks. Okay. Next we have nodes. What do you mean by nodes? The region where probability of finding the electron is 0. That means you cannot find an electron in that region. That region is called as a node. So what is it? It's a region where probability of finding the electron is 0 is called as a node. Node are of 2 types, that is radial nodes and angular nodes. Now what is radial node? Radial nodes occur when probability of finding the electron is 0 in a spherical region. See in this one, see this first red what we have shown here, this is 1s orbital, okay, and this is 2s orbital. So in between that you can see a white space there. there the probability of finding the electron is 0. Such node which is spherical in shape, we call it as radial node. Okay. Next, the number of radial node is n minus L minus 1. This is the formula which you have to remember to find out the radial node. Okay. Next is angular node. Angular node occurs when there is a plane where probability of finding the electron is 0. It's a plane. Here it is a radial node, means it's a circular region or spherical region. Okay, not circular, it's a spherical region. Whereas angular node means it's a plane. Okay, in that plane you cannot find any electrons. So if you see, in between the two p orbitals there is a plane in which you cannot find the electrons. So that is the nodal plane. Here also you can see there is one more plane here, and here there is one more plane where you cannot find, or the probability of finding the electron is 0. Such nodes are called as angular node, and the number of angular node is equal to L. So if you know the L value, that value will be equal to the number of angular nodes. Okay, I hope you have understood what is a node, and there are two types of nodes, radial node and angular node. Next class we will be learning about filling up of orbitals in atom, electronic configuration and stability of completely filled and half filled orbitals. Okay, so I hope you have understood today's class. Thank you my dear students. Stay focused, stay curious.